Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys.
And TV and movies too.
Yay, I'm Yoda.
I love it.
I'm Yoda.
I was gonna try to do some different stuff, but we'll see how. I'll probably keep working on it.
Why is Rick Ben Kenobi and not like Hammerhead?
Because that's the only picture I had of a vintage figure with a beard.
It works.
But
I can't believe we can afford to pay Disney to make those kind of animations.
I know. He should be Rickerhead.
Anyways, everybody,
That was great.
Hammer Rick.
Thanks. Welcome back to the Toy Duo. We were off last week. We had a kind of like just a hodgepodge group of clips, but we're back again, and just want to go through this really quick. We got on our panel today Rick from Left Coast Graphics. He also wanted to be AKA Heroes and Villains, but I wasn't sure how to tie that in because you don't have a separate YouTube, right?
I do. I'm just trying to. Eventually, I'd like to separate, my art stuff.
Business from the.
Okay, so I'm gonna need. I'll have to get that graphic and those links and stuff like that, and make sure that they're in here.
I'll have my people contact your people.
All right, I appreciate it, and get those little images, those little PNGs of those pens, so I can work on some more videos. Yes. We got John from Super Awesome Geek Show.
This guy's a tool. Why would you even put him on the show?
Unsubscribe.
Dino from Geek Strong, who's not here, he'll probably call in and interrupt the show. Dan from Dandy 1981, that's his YouTube as well. We got Connor from Fuller's Figures. He drops in once in a while. He's not here either today. And we got Sir Eric Brown, and there's his YouTube. You should give him a follow because he's got tons and tons of content on his channel. And you know what? I do want to give
classiest guy. He's the classiest guy on YouTube, though. I mean, look at that suit. He's always got that suit on,
Very, very much so. Yeah.
By far the best picture.
Yeah,
it is the best picture. I mean, did you see what I did? Like I was like, in the opening video, I put you on the suited Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. So let's say hello to everybody who's here. Oh, you know what? I wanted to thank Josh, who rejoined the channel as a channel member. I do have those back up, and I do have a new level, which is only 99 cents.
Anyways, I recommend everybody have that level of just $1, whatever it is, 99 cents, $1, whatever, because I do know a number of people. Some of them are like really good friends who they start their channels at $5 or $10, and I'm not supporting them because I'm just like everybody I support is $1 or $2. So that way. Like I have a budget of $20 to $25 a month that I can spend on supporting other people's channels. You know what I mean? You can't just go willy-nilly and support everybody. So in order to support the most channels, I pick all the ones that are $1 or $2. If I choose someone who's $10, that's half my budget.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like really,
I do have a $99 level, and every month you would get a custom, but you would get a custom T-shirt every month.
I guess I would. Yeah.
Anyways, Gap's here. He's saying hello. He was first. Sunny Sundries is here saying ahoy, everybody. Gerard Kane has joined us. Left Coast Graphics is in 2 places at one time. That is kind of like a dimensional universe thing. We got
Shadow
Mr.
Alien.
B. Yeah, saying, "Oh, you're alien." Okay.
Shadow
saying hello.
I didn't say nothing. What are you talking about?
There was a shadow alien here in Miami a week or so ago.
Oh, I haven't about that on the internet.
A 10-foot tall alien, 50 police officers.
Yeah, I heard that's in Florida.
We're chasing it around Miami. Yeah.
No pictures of it though. Jonathan.
Oh yeah, they're all pictures, but it's from iPhone 1s.
It was.
Dandy is also pulling a double duty in the chat and in the panel as well. Got a lot of people saying hi.
That alien was pushing a golf cart too, wasn't it?
David,
I don't know.
I thought I think I might have just skipped right over Rolando, here it is. I wanted to mention Rolando because he's just started posting videos, I guess, like his
yeah, he's got a channel. Yeah.
So let's get over there. If somebody has the link and wants to drop it in, you can do that. Let me see if I
Yeah, I've seen it pop up a couple times over the past days.
It's been in my feed, so that's pretty awesome.
But just turn your phone, Rolando, when you're going on the landscape. So the YouTubes.
A little YouTube tip. Film in the horizontal mode.
Plus 10 subscribers for saying that, but
he's in short mode.
I agree with that. Like, if you're gonna do anything more than like the minute for a short, I think the horizontal works better. But if you are intending to make like some short videos, then the vertical works really, really well for that.
It's weird because what I do now, if I do like any kind of a store hunt or go to a cool toy store, like Super John does all the time, I literally will. I'm at the point now where I film stuff twice. Do you know what I mean? Like, I not fully film it, but if I see something cool, hey, I'll get it landscape. Then I just got to do it again in portrait, so I can. It's weird, man, but I mean,
it is.
I'm trying.
What if
what? Sometimes I try to make shorts from my regular videos because you can actually, when you got it in iMovie or whatever, you can flip it and you can like move it so you can kind of get what you're interested in. So sometimes I am able to like do that, but
sometimes
for the most time you end up with like the two black bars at the top and like a little tiny picture because you want to show as much as you can.
Yeah.
But when I was at Target,
then just making a second video.
Did when I was go through, did the link go through? Yeah, there
it is. So there's the link. If you guys want, make sure you subscribe and check out all of those awesome Toy Hunt videos.
Because I guarantee he subscribes to all of us and all of you guys.
He does. He's a really good guy.
Supporters.
Because he's AI. So he can do that.
No, he's not AI.
I am convinced.
AI. So the Imperial Communique has joined us also. So he's here in the chat. So what do you guys think about this Star Wars news this week? What are you guys most excited for?
Everything.
How did you do that?
He's really excited.
He's celebrating.
Oh my god!
It doesn't work on mine.
Are you in Snapchat?
No, I'm just on my MacBook. Maybe it's just a camera filter in the MacBook. Yeah,
that's weird, man. It happened last week, like after the stream or something. You did something.
Do that again.
Maybe it's.
Oh, look, there you go.
It's so anticlimactic.
So Eric is the AI.
Yeah,
there it is.
He is AI. Oh my gosh.
What happens if you get up and dance?
Oh my god.
No, thank you. Yeah.
I great news, man. I really do, because I'm a Favreau lover, and I've always, been a huge fan, even when he was just an actor and making Elf and Iron Man and creating the MCU basically. So, and he's not created Disney Plus, but made Disney Plus, a platform because of that series, The Mandalorian, that he created from George's characters. He shouts out George, so does Filoni and stuff. But I mean, I think he's the guy that's going to keep the Star Wars brand strong when it comes to TV and film. Not what they were saying last year with everything Filoni. I think there's a big partnership there, and I think they're giving him a little bit of, here you go, man. You're getting the reins here. Help us again, and get some.
Do you think
not for subscribers? If it's a theater thing, it's not to get Disney Plus subscribers. Right. But in the end, I think it will turn into that because more stuff.
Do you think that this Mandalorian movie is going to be like the Thrawn storyline over on this side, where he's having to battle that, and the show is basically going to be Ahsoka just stuck over there, and she's not really going to be a part of that first portion or something?
Time will tell, but I think the biggest question that's out there, I don't think it's yet to be confirmed whether or not this movie is replacing all of Mando season 4 or just part of it.
I don't think so.
There are rumors that maybe this is just replacing the final 2 episodes, and that you'll have like six
Like a
episodes
season?
of
Okay.
Mando season 4, and then this is the finale, like a feature film finale to the season.
That could work. I mean, I can understand them
Yeah.
doing that. So do you
It's
think
very realistic?
if they do that, do you think then that movie gets a very limited theatrical run because it is just like the final 2 episodes?
Limited?
Well,
I mean, theaters are weird nowadays, right? Like even with a Star Wars movie in theaters, it's still going to be weird and not like how
it'll only
things
be in
used to
theaters
be.
for 4 weeks, like every other movie.
It
Yeah.
depends. If it makes $1 billion, it'll be in the theaters for 7 months. Like it's kind of what they're banking on, like Avengers and those big MCU movies. But I'm just saying, it's their top priority now at Lucasfilm. It is, besides the stuff that's already filmed, Skeleton Crew, The Acolyte, and a little bit of Andor. They still have a couple months of Andor to do. It's their top priority. It's their number 1 movie. It's the first movie. All other movies they've been announcing for the past 8 years, they're in talks and works. They're still writing them. Like none of them exist. So that means to me, this Mandalorian movie and season 4, or however they're going to combine the two, if they do, is written and it's good to go. Like it's green lit.
Yeah.
No Bob.
I'm sure that he has a. I'm sure he has a plan.
It's good to go, and it's next. So,
John, I'm sure he has a plan. Maybe they're just going to wing it.
No, I'm sure that Favreau and Filoni have a story plan for the whole thing of how Thrawn fits in, how the rest of Mandalorian universe, I guess you could say, is going to go.
For sure.
But I think that there's a couple things I wanted to say here. Like, number one, Star Wars desperately needs a theatrical release, a theatrical movie, and they need something that's going to be a hit. You can't go into the theaters. You can't go back to the theaters and have it be a flop. That's just gonna, if the next Star Wars movie fails in the theaters, it's just gonna kill any chance of anything else coming out.
Yeah,
for Star
and you know
Wars.
what that means, right, John? That means like there won't be any more Star Wars toys, and all collectors will have to stop collecting action figures.
Well, that won't happen.
But I call BS on that, right? But we all want it to be awesome, John. But like, let's be honest. If for whatever reason this movie doesn't perform well, for whatever reason, people will still go see Star Wars. Right, like future Star Wars.
Yes. Well, the thing is, I would have gone to see Star Wars last year. I would have gone the year before.
Yeah,
I would have gone.
I will go anytime Star Wars is in the theater.
Disney does not trust that. The people in charge don't trust it. Because John, we would have already got a movie. They wouldn't have canceled all those other movies.
John, we would have got them. You can send them an email if they don't trust that you would go see it in the theater.
I know I could, but here's the thing. I think the best. I think if you're sitting in that studio, executive studio seat,
Rick.
and you're going like, what are we going to do to get ourselves the best chance of having a hit? Sure. It is the Mandalorian. Okay. You know what I mean? Like that
comment is right on par with this topic. It is a coincidence that this was announced.
That's not what he wrote.
Twitter, like an Instagram post, a Facebook post.
What language are you reading?
A big announcement like they usually do at celebrations or things like that. So it's not just a coincidence. I'm saying it is a little bit of the damage control, as without saying that's what it is. It is what it is. That they've realized.
Well, that's why I'm saying
movie, which was our top priority 11 days ago. It's the next to be made. Whatever's been written has been approved, and they're going ahead with casting, and it's now
that's now going to be second.
It's now not the number one thing. It's probably the fourth thing. It's
because I think they have to have a hit first, and that hit, I think the best chance of having a hit is the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But I also don't think. I think with Jon Favreau behind the wheel, I don't think that it's going to be just another episode or the last 2 episodes of a season. I think we're going to get a full season. Whether you call it season 4 and then you get the movie, or if they're going to do the movie then season 4 and then season 5. I don't know, but something else is going to come out on Disney Plus before this movie. They're not going to make us wait now
2 shows
for
are.
another, and it's not going to be just the last 2 episodes, because that was always Star Trek: The Next Generation's failure. Those movies were essentially 2-hour-long episodes, and that's why they all failed, like Insurrection and what's that other one, Nemesis and stuff. Those were just like absolute garbage. For theater movies, they're good as episodes
people didn't
of
want to
the
go
Next
see
Generation.
in my mind, people didn't want to see the Next Generation because they felt like it was a TV show. People wanted to see the original Star Trek crew on the Enterprise in a movie.
If they used a movie budget and did them with actual directors, they used people who were actors in the film to direct those things.
Listen, I want to read some comments because what Jonathan actually said was the Amanda movie announcement is damage control, so that goes along with what Rick was saying. They say it's backlash from the director of the Rey movie, but Gap is saying like the Rey movie won't happen, and I almost feel like that's not true because it has to happen now, right? If they don't do it, they're going to get even more backlash for that. And Dan had his hand up. So
no money has been spent on the Rey movie. Let's put it that way: $0.
It doesn't matter at this point because they came out and they made all their noise and they made all their announcements and stuff like that. And to backtrack on that and not do the movie, I think would be bad. But Dan, what were you going to say?
It could be a series. Maybe they go a different direction and make it a Disney Plus series.
I'm following because Eric, you said it's not 100% confirmed, but John and Rick, you're making it sound like there is no season 4. So
no, there will be a season 4. I think there will be.
The details of how the film and season 4 are not confirmed yet.
Yeah, they haven't confirmed them. Yeah,
you are just speculating at this point.
Yeah. Okay, but I feel like there has to be. I just feel like there has to be another show, whether it's Mandalorian season 4 or
something
it's Book
before
of
the
Boba
Rey
Fett
movie
2, or it's like Thrawn season 1. You know what I mean? There has to be something else between what we saw at the end of Ahsoka and the movie. There has to be something else to fill in
bridge the gap. I agree with you, John. There needs to be like something to bridge the gap.
Skeleton Crew does take place in the Mandoverse in the same timeline. We don't know if it's like 2 years ago in the timeline or right after Ahsoka movie timeline. Chances are it's about the same time as Ahsoka and doesn't really involve any of the Ahsoka crew or cast members, but it will most likely for sure include like Mando and Grogu and Boba Fett and those other characters. You know, there's all these other storylines within the Mandoverse, Cobb Vanth and all those other characters. They will be in a way part of the Skeleton Crew, in my total opinion, because it's in the same universe. And Ahsoka show was really the only one that didn't really include those characters, and I think that was probably a bad decision in Dave's writing of that series. So again, that's my opinion. I think if they made it was obvious that this was part of the Mandoverse and timeline, whether it's Luke, whether it's Mando or Bo-Katan or any of the characters we got to know, then I think it would have been a little more of a appreciated show for the Mandoverse fans, and not just the new people that came to watch the Disney Plus show because it was based on the Rebels cartoon, that younger generation. But they need all the fans. They can't just concentrate on 50% of the fans.
That's
So I suspect that we're not going to get a whole bunch more information on how season 4 in the film's shaking out until the D23 Expo. I just looked at that. That's August 9th through 11th this year. There's no Star Wars celebration. They're going to be they're obviously in pre-production right now, but the timing of the announcement, it was just kind of weird and out of the blue. But I have to imagine they just wanted to get ahead of it more than anything, because once production actually kicks off on season 4 and this film, people they're going to be some kind of leaks out there. So I'm sure they just
I honestly believe the Mando universe that that Favreau and Filoni are working on, season 4 has been written and completed and approved and all that stuff a while ago. So it's the one that's closest.
Has it been written? Has
to be
it?
made? Absolutely. Like there's already concept art.
Hold on, wait a minute. Has the show been
100%.
written?
100%.
Because there was a huge strike that I feel like was when they would have been writing it.
Could have wrote it before.
And I don't think that any writing actually occurred during that time. And so they might be getting back to the writing. And then they may have scrapped some of the earlier stuff that they wrote. And then with the change in leadership at Disney and him saying, let's not do so much streaming, let's get back into the theater.
Yeah,
maybe like that stuff got revamped.
Think about that though. If that's your profession, you're a writer, whether it's screenwriting or writing a book or whatever, and you were a part of that strike. Do you honestly think 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, they're sitting at home?
No, because they're out there on the picket line striking.
They're just not out there. They're just not like getting paid for it until after the strike's over. Then they're like, the day that strike's over, people are handing in scripts.
So staff writers were definitely on the picket line, and I know that I'm obviously not in California or New York where the picket lines were, but I have to imagine like the big wigs. Like there's probably some gray area between like what you're saying, Rick and Vern. Well, I have to imagine like people like Favreau and Filoni were doing their own kind of stuff.
He was probably mapping it out. But the guys who would actually be working on each of the individual
writers' room,
weren't working. So
100%,
the story arc was being developed, but I don't think the gritty of every episode was written already. And I think that's why when they came back from their strike and started working on it, they also got this thing from the head saying, hey, our streaming service isn't making money, we need to get back in the theater. And so they were like, well, how do we retool this to like a movie? And I think the announcement came out because they finally figured it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure,
giving him a lot of credit.
The Ray movie, creator or writer or whatever her title is,
right?
Director
2024 shouldn't be talking about. Like the stuff she kind of said is very similar to what canceled, Gina Carano or other people. It's your opinion, but don't make it like a newsworthy topic. Like it became a newsworthy topic that 40,000 YouTube channels are. Let's make a video about this, and it's like it became drama.
Yeah, I mean, like we don't know.
Good drama. It didn't drive people to subscribe to your channel and go buy toys. It did the opposite. So it had to be some kind of damage control in a way, because that's part of the culture now of social media and stuff. It's just on a related topic. They just announced Gina Carano is officially coming to our Fan Expo here in Vancouver in February. And I'm sorry. Not a fan first, as I know many of you are too. It became a local freaking news story here on social media because there was backlash about it. There was actually
you a fan?
People talking shit on the Twitterverse and whatever. It's like it's not a newsworthy topic if you're a news channel to talk about a celebrity coming to a convention, which is for celebrities to come to. You know what I mean? Like I just thought, it's crazy. She's only coming one day. So out of the 4-day convention, you can go those other 3 days if you want to wear a dress or
I was, hey, you know what, Rick, I was actually going to go to the Vancouver Expo, and then I realized it was in Canada.
Yeah, it's pop culture. There's a lot of people in pop culture you might disagree with politically or religiously.
How far is that from Seattle?
A couple hours, not far.
Yeah, not far.
4 hours.
Not even 4. Yeah.
But I just wanted to get that out there. It was a silly, newsworthy topic, and now all of those fandom menace crowd, like the Disney Star Wars haters, who are also fans of Gina Carano, now they're sharing my local Vancouver news network's Twitter and bashing them, and it's people monetize off this stupid drama crap, and I hate it. I just really hate it.
Look. The only reason I think Dan's right here. He's saying I wouldn't be surprised if scripts get grinded out shortly before they're due, and I think that it's important to think about that, right? Like season 5 of that Kevin Costner cowboy show Yellowstone is now on hiatus, or is now not due to come back until potentially 2025 January, because the second half of season 5 wasn't written, right? So they were already filming the season and they didn't have episodes finished yet. That's why I can't say that way before the strike, the entire season was written.
That's a lot different than like, a George Lucas or Kevin Smith or, Favreau, Filoni, because that's all they write their own shit and then they produce it and then direct.
But he's not writing
like that.
He's not writing every moment of every episode.
Yeah, he's got a vision. He's got
it's not one
sure.
He's writing like the
storyboard
outline.
Yeah,
and then
I have no doubt that they have a vision, but the scripts, you can't tell me that they're years.
They have staff writers, and those are the guys that were like on strike. Now I will find it. I do find it interesting because wasn't the Glover brothers going to be doing like some sort of Star Wars movie too? What?
Yeah,
and they supposedly signed their contract, and it was announced during the strike, which I thought was really strange. Like I don't know how that deal came to be.
Well, that was sort of like, if memory serves me correctly, wasn't it Donald Glover's brother? He just said something in like nonchalantly in a podcast or something. So it wasn't like I don't think it was anything official, but it came out that way, right?
Yeah, it sounded like they were working anyways, and I'm like, yeah, of course you guys are working because you aren't worried about your pay because you guys are making the big money.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. For anything, I think it's good news. I don't think what I haven't seen is any YouTube videos or people hating the fact they're making this Mando movie, and I think that's
a great idea.
Fandom needs is something that's going to like not bring us together, but have less of that separation that there tends to be with that Disney Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, I mean, like I could easily watch those episodes of The Mandalorian or Ahsoka or those shows on my phone early in the morning before I go to work or something like that. But I wait until I get home so I can watch them on my big screen, and stuff like that with the lights turned down and stuff like that with my good speakers. So to be able to go see it in a theater would just be awesome.
And it's doubling the budget or tripling the budget. Like if it cost them $1 million for an hour's worth of Mando, I'm just picking a number, right? They're going to spend $4 million on an hour of budget in a movie. So that means it won't be 90% stagecraft. It'll be like 20% or 30%.
That's what I was getting at. It has to be film quality where they're building sets.
Yeah, like when Star Wars,
you can't just film it in the volume and go, there you go, we're done with this movie. You know what I mean? That'll be crap.
Sequels came out. They were brilliant in cinematography and set locations and special effects. People just weren't happy with the story.
And when they do a movie, the best part about doing the movie is Jack Black and Lizzo may come back.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm all for that. I love them in season 3.
I saw this, and I
had a screening of Godzilla -1.
Let's do it again.
On like the Lucas Ranch or within the Disney things with the Japanese makers and stuff. That is awesome news because that Godzilla -1 was a low budget movie, but it was a brilliant, huge, masterpiece on the big screen or even the small screen. So they're bringing this guy in to the studio or whatever to look at his movie and guarantee he's going to be doing something in the future with the Lucasfilm team. So there's a left coast theory for you.
Hold on. Dan was saying earlier, like the question about the MCU movies and the Star Wars movies have changed, right? You're talking about you reaching the same excitement, and then because Jonathan's kind of saying it's not the viewers, it's the quality of the movies have fallen through the floor.
Some.
And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit too. I think it's true, but like I felt like when I watched like Avengers Age of Ultron, I was basically just watching the same ending I saw in the first Avengers movie, right? It was basically the same thing. Army of things that needed to be destroyed, tearing through like an entire city where there was like one main villain who needed to be destroyed. And then there was a lot of destruction of the city at the end. I mean, realistically, it was exactly the same kind of ending.
But it looked cool, right?
But it didn't.
Yes, the first time.
It still got you that adrenaline rush, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm pretty excited for some new. It's my, it's one of my favorite things that they made in the new modern Star Wars era. and it's badass, man.
What if they said Ahsoka season 2 is going to be a movie? Would you guys be just as up for it?
I know people aren't going to love my opinions on this. I don't think there's going to be an Ahsoka.
I would just wonder what they would do.
I think they've changed that Ahsoka movie that Filoni was going to make to be this Mando movie. And
I don't think that's the case.
They're going to let Dave. They have kind of confirmed they're going to Ahsoka season 2.
Ahsoka season 2 is happening, but
that they're going to
but they haven't said that Filoni's Mandoverse movie is off the table.
That depends how you read words. So in their press release,
they never said it wasn't happening though.
Well,
it's still on the card.
What they said is, along with the Mando and Grogu, we're also continuing with these people's movies, and they named off 4 people. None of them were Dave Filoni. Then there was a period, and they said, "Oh, and also you were going ahead with Dave Filoni's Ahsoka season 2." And then Dave made a drawing and posted it. But on that list of 4 directors making movies, Filoni wasn't one of them. I'm just saying that's how they worded it.
Do you think that what other series would you rather see a season 2 of, say, Andor, or would you rather see a movie?
I was so happy with Andor. I want it to be a series again.
Yeah.
A weekly series.
As good as season 1 was, like if they can continue what they did with season 1.
Oh yeah, please.
Having it be as a series just means more great content. So that team knows how to make an awesome TV series and an awesome Star Wars series. So
to me, Gilroy a movie too, right? Down the road, like let's greenlight a future Gilroy movie. The guy can freaking write, man.
A Gilmore Girls movie?
Well, that's the Andor showrunner guy. That's when it comes to us talking about shows afterwards. That Andor one was my favorite one.
It was. I liked it. It was earlier, Jonathan saying that Ahsoka didn't pull in the viewers, and earlier he said that it got fewer. The ratings were less than She-Hulk. And I don't know where to look up the ratings, but I mean,
well, they're not public, really. It's
so,
like Rotten Tomatoes and polls and.
But I mean, to be completely honest, Ahsoka was decent to me, but I don't have any ties to any of those characters because I wasn't that interested in the.
But I enjoyed it. Has anyone at least watched the first episode of Echo by chance?
I watched the whole thing.
I'm 4 episodes in.
So what they did, like no spoilers or anything, but what they did with Echo episode 1 was they basically took all of her content from the Hawkeye series and repurposed it and recut it to provide kind of like a self-contained, here's what you need to know kind of thing for that character, so that Echo series can live on its own. Ahsoka really should have done that with like Rebels.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But that fight scene between her and the Daredevil was just awesome.
The thing is, I don't know about that because I'll tell you this: my mother knew nothing about Ahsoka other than what she had seen in the Mandoverse.
Yeah.
Prior to it, she didn't even know who the character was until the thing, and she thoroughly and completely enjoyed the Ahsoka show and said repeatedly while we were watching the episodes together, she said, "Now this is Star Wars." Yeah. Like for the first time, it's like I'm actually seeing Star Wars because of the ship flybys, because of they had familiar shots. They had familiar shots.
But what I was saying is like it was missing the character moments in the backstory for the relationships between like with Sabine and Ahsoka.
It didn't matter.
Ezra.
It didn't matter to her because what it did is after she was done watching Ahsoka, she went and ended up watching all of the Clone Wars and all the Rebels. She binge watched the entire animated series.
Awesome. That's an awesome story.
You know what I mean? And
all it did
loves Ahsoka now. It's one of her favorite characters because
if she was Dino, she would have fallen asleep every episode.
Right. So After Ahsoka, I rewatched The Wizard of Oz because it was just like Dorothy going to the land of Oz and meeting the little people. Then I rewatched the Michael Jackson Thriller because it was about.
Did you watch The Wiz after both of those?
I did see The Wiz, but I didn't rewatch that one. No.
Ahsoka's the only show I haven't gone back and watched twice. I'm not gonna lie. I might, one day. It's just, if I go on there, I'm like, but Andor, I've currently been rewatching Andor again, just for fun.
There were some corny things about Ahsoka, but overall, there were some pretty good things that came out of it. I mean, I really like some of the characters, and I like Baylan and Shin. I really like those two characters. I wish we could get like a backstory of
the droid is great.
The two of them. The droid.
It's not my favorite show of the Star Wars Disney Plus is because how I know it's not on purpose. The gentleman passed away, but how his character, his arc at the end was like really like you couldn't thought like they didn't know, but I mean you couldn't give us an hour more content of those characters throughout your 8 hours of a series. You gave him 30 minutes of content and 1 minute in the final episode. That to me, it killed it for me. But I know it's not. They didn't do it on purpose. It's just it is what it is. He obviously has a future, and they're going to make greenlight in Ahsoka season 2. He can be part of it. Like this character is 100% can be part of it. The drawing he did was the last place we saw that character. So
what do you guys think is the most likely place we're going to see more of a backstory of Baylan and Shin?
Hopefully in those cartoons.
Do you think it's going to be like a Tales of the Jedi thing, like or comics,
it's
novel?
Just going to be it's going to be a comic book or a novel,
comic or novel,
I think.
I mean, they could do like
Jedi is their best option for someone who's passed away, like, and the story's ready to go. Like it's like, we can't film this because he passed away.
They've done. They've done the Clone Wars kind of flashbacks. Maybe Ahsoka season 2 will give some of that.
I'm sure there's some deleted scenes or footage they didn't use. We're hopeful, but I think in the end, if he's going to be on the big screen or the small screen, whichever, they would have to recast in some shape or form. Which we all have to accept, and anyone complains, we kick their ass.
Now, if Disney and Lucasfilm were smart, and like if I were in charge, they did it the right way, they would have just made a Star Wars show, and every single week we would get a different episode. And if they wanted to, during the Star Wars show, they could just do a 2-episode arc of showing what Baylan and because the problem with the way it is now is everything has to be broken up into seasons and everything has to be broken up into its own shows. So if you don't have 10 episodes to describe what happened to these characters, you're never going to get it on a film. But if they just did like this is the Star Wars show and it's going to go from now till forever, and every week you're going to get a different episode of Star Wars content, it'll jump through time. It doesn't matter where it is.
We all want.
We would just do here's 2 episodes on Baylan and Shin Hati
live
or
action.
You're
live
action. Yeah.
Ramping up production for such a small like one shot type of thing that's probably not scalable.
Volume. You're filling in the volume. It's just creating a graphic for the background.
Did you ever see that?
What the hell? They did. You know how many episodes they used to do of TV shows like that were live action back in the day? Some seasons would have 30 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now we're getting
a regular season is supposed to be 25 to 30
with 6 or 10, and people are complaining. Oh, I had to do 10 episodes. Oh my god!
That's just the streaming. That's just the streaming format because a regular season is over 25 episodes for a regular network television show, but it's because they got to encompass like 6 months of programming, right? Like that's why their seasons run so long. Anyways,
I've seen a short called Dirty Laundry. It's a fan-made Punisher film with one of the actors who portrayed the Punisher. His name escapes me right now, but it's like a 10-minute, 15-minute little just a guy beating up a bunch of people in a laundromat, which is the Punisher.
Is that on YouTube?
Fantastic. Oh, for sure it is. Yeah.
Well, why don't you get the link and throw it in the chat stream?
It's the actor who no longer portrayed the Punisher. Not Ray Stevenson as the other actor. Just they went out and they made this video.
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane. And it's fantastic. That's fun stuff like that. I would love to see on Disney Plus or even on YouTube or other video platforms.
Speaking of
free.
Hold on.
Speaking of fan films, if you go to my channel now, I have a playlist that goes from the beginning of the first Star Wars fan film all the way to the stuff that came out last week.
There's a lot.
So you can watch. You can
cool.
watch. You can watch all the Star Wars fan films now in order on a playlist on my channel.
Nice.
And some of the, especially some of the most recent stuff, the quality and the writing and the way they've done it is top notch. There's some stuff in there that you watch it and go, these people should be writing Star Wars.
All right, at this point in the show, I just want to do our creator spotlight. In this portion, we did it before too, but we're gonna highlight somebody who's like a new YouTuber or something like that, or somebody who's doing like art or something like that. So if you guys know of anybody that we should give a shout out to on the show, send us a message, let us know, give us a link to their stuff so that we can do their stuff. But this week, we're going to be giving a shout out to this Zach Attack Horror Nerd. And he's over on Instagram. He's got about 1,400 followers right now, but he does some toy photography, and some of the stuff is really good. You should go give him a subscribe and check it out. And here's a couple of examples of some of the stuff that he's been posting, and I think I love the Mario. It's hilarious to me. But Dan actually pointed this guy out to me. I wasn't following him. He was. He gave me the link and stuff, but I think it looks really cool.
Are you prepared to post a link in the chat?
I was not.
Okay, just saying.
But no, I can. Hold on. You know what? That's actually a really good idea. I'm glad that you guys are here to help me out with this stuff, because I would just not do it.
That's a great shot. I like the big Mario.
What was that, Dan?
Well,
Stay Puft Mario.
I already
Stay Puft. He's a pretty cool guy too. He'll respond to you.
Other than those little boxes
or
stuff for
comment on his photo.
I hope that link will work. Anyways,
there you
I
go.
just wanted to give him a shout out. And then John wanted to show this off. He said, we also have this little thing we're going to do. It's like, did you see this segment? And this will be like, if you guys run into something that's out of the ordinary or something like that, send us a pic, we'll show it. But he thought this was actually really cool. I don't know what that is in there. Is that like
no, includes Orko. It's like, that's not Orko.
That is a Toonie Terrors misfit.
But isn't the Toonie Terrors more expensive than this entire set?
Right now, yeah, that would have.
So I'm like, why would you do that? And who was this guy? Is that like the Marvel? Who's the Marvel guy that's supposed to be like Tarzan?
No, I think that's the actual He-Man. I think that's,
that is He-Man. That's not like what Tazar or whatever his name is.
Tazar, yeah. But I do think that's the actual Savage He-Man. But
but not Orko. That's not Orko.
Someone really wanted Orko, and instead they got Orko out and put the Misfits guy in there.
No, they could have got that Toonie Terrors over at Ross, because they've been popping up over there, so they probably got that super cheap.
I don't see that kind of stuff often. I know it happens, but I mean, can you imagine people just bringing back those sealed boxes?
No,
Did anyone ever buy a sealed box from like Target or Walmart, like a GI Joe or a Black Series? Go home.
You didn't see my video?
You weren't on the stream when John.
Yeah, you didn't see my video.
I've seen lots of broken toys.
No, I opened a GI Joe Cobra Trooper, and it was Star-Lord from MCU.
Listen, but at least you got another figure of equal value, which is like what Hasbro would give you if you say, "Oh, my Obi-Wan Kenobi's broken." No problem, we'll send you out like a Hulk.
When I worked at Target, people did all kinds of stuff, because like the baby seat, the car seats would have a seat in it, right? But it's a big gigantic box, and it used to come in these big boxes. And when we were working the register, we were required to cut open the boxes when we sold them, because what people would do is they would go fill the box with baby clothes, put it in the cart, and then go down to the hardware department and retape it with our own tape, and then they'd go up to the front and buy the car seat, and there'd be like $100 in there. And when people brought back electronics, we also had to open those even if they were sealed, because we would open them and they'd be full of
duffel
rocks.
bags. Yeah,
they'd be full
I
of
can't believe
rocks.
they don't do that now. Like you showed a video yesterday where they locked up the freaking underwear and socks. Like
socks.
yeah,
Like, socks were locked up.
Where do you live that people? There's a serious security threat and people stealing underwear and socks. Like that's bad, man.
We have all the our Walmarts have all the hair products locked up.
Well, we've always had, for whatever reason,
we have laundry detergent locked up.
Like who uses razors, like those razors that some men use.
Wait a minute, you got a beard? You got a beard? You got a beard? You got a beard?
As long as I've been alive, I remember them being behind some kind of lock and key, even before I had a beard. Now it's razors and Lego. And if you live where Vern lives, man,
it's socks. Yeah, it's socks.
Vern, now you're happening, man.
All right.
Yeah. No, I mean like shampoo and conditioner at my stores are under lock and key.
Who uses razors?
Doesn't that stuff cost like $1?
They steal it all the time. It's one of the most stolen things, you know.
Vern, you just got like 100,000 more subscribers. Did you see that?
You did, yeah.
All Canadians and all.
My wife made this for me. She was like, "How come everybody else has a beard but you?" And I go, "Well, I haven't shaved in 5 years. What do you want me to do?"
That's badass. I might need one of those to keep my beard warm.
I wanted to make a white one for Christmas with like a red cap.
There you go.
Well, that's all one piece.
It's all one. Yeah.
That's awesome. It fits right in, man. Can't even see your fake hair.
Right? It even looks like like if you're not paying attention and I was sitting here, you might think, yeah, that's like a real beard.
You might think, okay.
Because for a couple of minutes, this will be your thumbnail on YouTube.
And when I drink water, my mustache thing here gets wet.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome
and
to
when
the club.
I eat stuff, I get all kinds of food in here.
I just before the show. I walked to Walmart and got a bag of groceries, and I'm like 10 minutes out of the door. I got ice crystals. Oh, like I'm like, I haven't felt that in years, man. Like it's that cold out here. You can't
do a head swap. Looks like
all right.
Toys.
All right, let's see. Oh, let's do an update. Here's the Ramen Racer. I'm going to take this off because it's hot in here. I got the heater on. But anyways, the Ramen Racer is going to give Ramen's going to give everybody the translucent wheels that ordered the racer. He did some production shots, posted them on his Facebook. I don't have Facebook, but I was still able to go over there and grab the pictures. These are some shots of the orange one with the flame wheels. I think it looks pretty cool. They got the boxes all set up. So we know that
box looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I think cool. They're getting ready to ship them out. I know there's going to be a delay because a Chinese New Year starts on February 9th or February 8th?
Well, honestly, he actually just posted something, I believe, today that maybe even says some deliveries of I think that product are like a couple of months away still. So maybe March instead of January.
Because they close, I think it's a month for the Chinese New Year. They're going to be
that's pretty well,
will be closed. And, it's not uncommon for other countries to close down production during certain times of the year. So in China, they close down for Chinese New Year's. In Mexico, they always close down for a few weeks around Christmas time because it goes from Christmas into the new year, I think, to January 6th, which is the King's Day or whatever. So factory shutdown is like a normal thing in other parts of the world, right?
Like in Canada, when it snows, Canada closes when it snows.
Yeah.
And when
Canada closes the whole country.
Yep, the whole country.
And then
will my racer have beams of lasers that shoot out the front like that?
Freaking laser beams.
Yes, those are headlights, John. Headlights.
Oh.
It will have working headlights that
the
beams probably are going to point more down towards the road than high beams. Those are probably the high beams. But here's some shots of the
that's pretty cool.
The head thing you're gonna get, and apparently it lights up. It's self-contained, battery operated. So
that's a great feature.
Yeah.
3 of those little watch batteries in there.
Nice.
Huh.
And then, so you want to talk about toys this week? Let's see. This is the hot or not, the week's reveals. We'll talk about these. These are the toys that are trying to peddle to us this week. Listen, who here has like a budget for like toys?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Dan, do you have a budget, or you just like whatever I want, I get?
Pretty much.
No, anyone here?
Nope. Eric, what do you have a budget?
Not really. I try and keep it as limited as possible, but usually if I want it, I get it.
Okay. What about you, Rick? You put yourself on a budget?
Not really, but I mean, I don't spend as much on toys now as I did. Like with the Black Series and Vintage Collection and retros now. Like I used to buy a lot of all of them. If not a completist, but it was pretty heavy, like Solo figures and Andor figures, like whatever it was. Now I'm more of an original trilogy, unless something cool gets loved by me. But now it's even more of just retros. Like I'm not buying as many Black Series and 6-inch, but I did pick up this. This is my most recent.
That is actually really cool. That's the Dungeons and Dragons, right? Awesome.
It's totally badass. I don't buy a lot of NECA, but
yeah, they look good. That one looks
toy
good.
traders, and I had some trader bucks for some stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm either getting this new R5D4 that's $35, or I'm buying this wicked awesome War Duke that's $45. And I'm like, I'm getting this War Duke. Like
100%, I agree with you.
Still too much money, but I mean, I wanted it.
I'm budgeting now too. I think it's important, like if you're collecting, that you don't go overboard, that you create some sort of a budget for yourself and try to stick to it, because there's so much stuff that came out last year and is kind of incredible. And like, I wanted all the GI Joes, but I will tell you, no Buzzer, no Ripper, I didn't get any of those, that type of stuff. I'm kind of being really very selective now. The Star Wars figures have like kind of dwindled because there's not a whole lot I'm interested in, but the Balin and Shin I was, just because I like those characters, right? Don't need another Ahsoka, don't need some of the other ones and stuff like that. Sabine, I didn't need because I got the other version, but I think it is, and you know what? It was Ross that did it to me.
Sure.
Honestly, walking into like a Target and seeing $27 for a figure that, at Ross, like I was able to buy a figure for $5.99, which was $27 at one point, really makes me take stock in like the value of those figures. So I just wanted to kind of rant about that before we.
Yeah, and a point on that too. Like I'm more likely to buy like an action figure that I didn't already pre-order, like a Hammerhead figure or a retro figure, if I was to see it in a store. So like if I was him and Han about getting this new Ahsoka figure, like, but if I'm in a store and I see it, I'm like, oh wow, this is badass. Then I'm more likely to buy that than just seeing some marketing pictures. And like Snow Job is a GI Joe figure that is apparently only available on Hasbro.
Right.
I'm not going to pay $50, $60 for that because shipping's not free in Canada for Hasbro. If I saw it in a store, though, I would for sure buy it for $30 or $35, whatever it goes for.
The only reason I have it.
It depends on what it is. If I really want it, like the new Star Wars retros, I had to go to Hasbro and pay.
Right. You had to have them because they were the retros.
And I had no option to pay for shipping, sadly.
Right. All right, let's see. Connor saying I'm home. I had 6 pints of Guinness, a kebab, and got beaten up by an old lady on her handbag. What a Saturday! Well, if you didn't try to push her off the bus so you could get the better seat,
did you get Is it like bad, like black eye and broken leg beat up, or
probably? All right. Anyway, so man, these Super 7 Ultimates, Dungeons and Dragons figures were announced, right?
And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Not this, but Hasbro licensing out their own IPs to other toy companies, and this is a new one. This is another one. Hasbro makes just as much money off these as Super 7 does. So it's going to suck in a lot of you guys that already bought those Hasbros.
That's the problem. I won't be buying any of these because I bought the Hasbro ones.
Oh, but it'll be all different characters, won't it?
No, because I
No,
got
they're the
Hank.
same ones. I got this.
Oh,
thing
maybe
already.
one of the villains because they're going to have the villains.
Hank
And I
was-
got the same exact bow already from the one that we just got.
Well, no, because the bow, when the one where he's launched back, I think the whole bow is like lightning looking, right?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
whatever.
He was the only one I saw that was the same. Everybody else was different.
And then you got Sheila, who practically looks the
Yeah,
same.
it looks the same to me.
I do like the alternate face sculpts that they had with them. The Super Sevens, just not the scale that I like to collect because they're going to be a little bit bigger. But you know what? I will tell you this: at $55 a figure is a little pricey, but
That's
if
another
the
reason I won't
quality of
buy
them
them.
is way better, who knows? Maybe I do end up grabbing these and
McFarlane's-
getting
No, because what happens with me is I look at it and go, okay, $50 a figure. I don't mind if I just buy one or two. You know what I mean? But with something like Dungeons and Dragons with this kind of line, I
Yeah.
could not just get one or two. You can't
This is
just
the
have
problem. You got to
Sheila.
get them all. You got to get them all.
You can't just have Presto. You can't just have Sheila. It makes no sense. You got to have the whole team standing there. So I look at it and go, I look at it and go, that means I've got to have $500 invested in this set. You know what I mean? So I can't justify the $500 cost to get the whole set. You know.
Nice soft goods robe on this one. I just noticed that now. That hood soft goods, right?
Yeah.
They do make quality toys. I know people have, maybe some of the paint's not the best.
There's no
but there's a
denying
lot
they're
of
not
molded-
good.
A lot of molded plastic color there where you don't got to worry about the paint rubbing off. And I think from what I'm seeing, it's hard to tell from 3D renderings whether it's painted or molded plastic. But when you see good, high quality production photos or, photos that are not renderings, you can see what plastic is molded in flesh color and purple color. And I like that as an action figure guy, and as an artist who makes stuff, I like and t-shirt designer over the years. I like the use of, you have to use the color of your base product more as part of your final design.
Right.
I've learned a lot over the years about stuff like that. And Super Sevens, you can see that in some of these photos.
Yeah, I
This
do want to
one's
say,
awesome, though. This one is so cool.
hold on. Emmett Cullen Hill is making some comments. I think this is the first time I've ever seen you in the chat, so welcome to the show. Hopefully you keep coming around. I think, like the $50 that you were saying earlier is just a little bit high for me also. Now, Joseph's saying it kind of looks like a Scooby-Doo figure, and I think we're talking about these ones. And yeah, they're right? These are the two main Scooby-Doo guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Fred
It's
and Daphne.
their likeness is based on the animation, which is either Nacelle or whoever made the original cartoons, which Hanna-Barbera did not make D&D, I believe. But I like animated toys, and I know a lot of you guys did because you guys went and bought those Hasbro D&Ds based on the cartoons, right? They look.
I did love the idea that they came out with. I was hoping they would do that cartoon D&D set for a long time. I just didn't know it was going to come out the way that they did. I mean,
so between you and Dino and Super John,
I never expected that from Hasbro.
50% of them broke and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I got the last three for like $7. They were just,
that's good.
They were on.
This guy is actually. This guy's actually really cool. This may be one of the only ones.
Yeah. If I were to buy one, this is the one I would buy. Yeah, exactly.
I see this photo now, and I'm thinking, that reminds me of those Dragon's Lair characters. So I'm like, there's only a couple characters they could make.
Yeah.
But Princess,
totally. This is the Dragon's Lair, dude.
So now I'm going to predict there's going to be a Dragon's Lair figures coming up by these guys.
Oh, wait a minute. So is that a Left Coast Graphics theory?
Some company is going to make Dragon's Lair toys.
What?
One day, eventually, somehow.
I'm pretty sure they did, didn't they?
I don't remember, but retros would be cool.
Oh, look. So we're getting the other theory here where Super 7 is going to make a Tiamat. It's going to be $750. It's going to be one of those projects.
That's a question.
Is that the dragon?
I don't think it's a question. I think it's a statement. I think it's a pretty good statement. I mean, they did that Cat's Lair. They tried to do that Mothership. I wouldn't say if they're doing these Ultimates or whatever, why wouldn't they try to make the Tiamat and make it one of those crowdfund deals like they've done where they give it like 60 days to get like to $700 just keep in mind, there's always the 4 payments of $58.
Yes.
It's very much a possibility, knowing Super 7 guys and what they do. If it doesn't cost them millions of dollars to like promote, here's a crowdfund idea, or then why not put it out there in the world
why
and
not?
see if it gets a million likes and loves.
That would be a very difficult thing for me to pass up. If somebody did do a Tiamat figure and it was
Like
proper,
that scale.
it was proper big and articulated.
That would be so awesome, John. Like,
it would be very
Hasbro figures.
Yeah, I mean, like even if it was $1,000, it would be something that I would be very, very hard pressed to pass on.
It would be.
I'm telling you, it would be very difficult to pass on that.
Who is Tiamat for $800, Super John?
What do you mean? Who is Tiamat?
I don't know who Tiamat is.
It's a dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. Has the 5
with the multicolored heads. It had different colors. It had a white head, a blue head,
I
a
know.
green
I wasn't
head.
sure because
it's the big.
In 40 years since I watched that cartoon.
It's a god of. Isn't it a chaos god? Like a god of chaos that takes its form on the planet that it likes to take is this 5-headed dragon.
The only thing that I'm hoping is like when they make the villain guy that they actually make him with a horse. Right, so not never sit on
Venger with his horse, warlock,
that he like holds onto really tightly and flaps his wings and makes him fly.
You know what I would like to see in an animated style is the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, the old Bashi cartoons. I would love, like now that we're seeing all these, children's type cartoons, I would love to see some of those characters like those are the vintage Lord of the Rings toys were based on the animation. Those are badass, 3 3/4 scale. Super 7 could do a knockout 7-inch scale for those.
This cracks me up because Jonathan's laughing at the price, but I think he buys all the Super 7.
He does. He's got a huge collection of Super 7 He-Man figures.
He's got a whole Super 7 room.
Canadian Louis squid.
All right. Anyways, and then here's the group shot of all of them. I guess this one set is like going to be like $55 for 2 flying ghosts. I doubt they're going to have much articulation, just in the arms, maybe in the wings.
They look cool. I remember them.
They made that classic. They made that classic sound. There was a screeching ghost dragon sort of sound that they used in He-Man, Thundar the Barbarian, Black Star. It was used in this cartoon with these ghosts. It's that noise that they always do.
Was there 2 different Dungeons and Dragons animated cartoons? Because I know there's Warduke was on some cartoon at some point.
He showed up in the cartoon. He showed up in this cartoon.
So he's in the same universe as he. So let's make more Wardukes, please.
Yeah, he's one of the few that was a toy that showed up in the cartoon.
Why didn't Hasbro make Warduke in the cartoon line then? Wouldn't he?
Because Hasbro basically made the main characters and stopped. Because by the time the second wave came out, everybody had already decided that they were crap.
The first wave was broken. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means just decided, we'll just finish these main ones and be done.
I just learned something. So that means Hasbro owns Warduke.
Well, I don't know if they do. That's the thing. They might not own. They might not own.
Right? They own.
They might not own. But they might not own the D&D toy characters.
2022 Wizards of the West Coast owns Dungeons and Dragons, and Hasbro owns Wizards of the West Coast.
Okay, so by proxy they own them.
Interesting.
But what I'm saying is, do they own the original D&D toy characters?
They bought the IP Dungeons and Dragons, so they own it.
Yeah, but Dungeons and Dragons didn't necessarily. The toys that came out for Dungeons and Dragons when we were kids were not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons characters.
No, because I believe you're right. The cartoon company.
Some of those characters were made up just for the toy line. They weren't in the Dungeons and Dragons game.
Well,
they
and
weren't
for the
cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon has its own, kind of like some other cartoons get involved with these toys.
They have their own characters that weren't in the game.
So
different people could own different names and pieces of these because they weren't in the game. Yeah.
Okay, and I think the next one is not going to be a Dungeons and Dragons. So I just was taking my time waiting until that whole Dungeons and Dragons conversation.
and he's still go. Is he done talking about Tiamat Takhisis and it's a girl? Yeah.
So Rick sent this out. Actually, most of these pictures Rick threw up in the shared folder.
I didn't get a link to that shared folder. Why didn't I get it?
I sent it to your email. It went to your email.
Oh,
It linked your email to your Google Drive. So maybe check your email address, unless you don't use that email anymore. But this is Mazinga. It's a Shogun warrior. I looked it up.
Bazinga? What are you? Bazinga?
Among a jumbo Mazinger, whatever Mazinger, and it's 24 inches. It's made by Bandai, Tamashii Nations, or whatever. It's got the firing fists. It's got two the rocket launcher hands that go on there. This is kind of a newer version of the vintage one. And this is kind of what they look like side by side. The one on the right is the vintage, and the one on the left is the new one. And if you go to the Amazon site, the Amazon Japan, they have it for 33,000 yen, which is no, it's like 300 and something, a little over $300. But if you go to Tamashi's website, their suggested retail price is like half of that, which means its suggested retail is about $130. Now I went to Hobby Link Japan and they were already had their pre-order sold out on it.
Oh, okay.
So I have a feeling.
I saw this pop up on Twitter and I'm like, oh, Vern's all over this.
Yeah. If I could have grabbed it off of Hobby Link Japan, I 100% I am not going to pay the price that somebody's got the markup. But I do have a friend who has his best friends in China, and he's going to try to secure one for me. We'll see how that goes.
It's cool. I like it. Like I don't know if they own.
Yeah, I wouldn't
know if they're paying a license like Super 7 pays a license to make Shogun Godzilla and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I dig the characters. I think they're cool.
So to have a 24-inch figure that's like the one that I had when I was a kid, if I was going to spend over $300, I'd just go find an original.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Right. So that's
I had the yellow one though, the one with the yellow.
Okay,
when I was a kid.
Where would you draw the line, Vern?
What?
What would you pay
for the new one? I would probably close to 2 after shipping. So retail plus shipping, right? But I'm not going to
jumbo Star Wars retail. I think they're 80 US.
Yeah,
and these are 12-inch, but they're made the same way with that blow mold kind of technology, whatever you want to call it, manufacturing. So, if it's double the size, maybe double the price, maybe less, maybe more. So I can see these being, 200, 250 US. But I don't know. Like, it depends on if a big company like Hasbro's making it, or if we'll call a smaller company like Super 7 is making it. Like, what did you pay for your jumbo Mazinger Boba Fett or Stormtrooper?
This guy up there.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this.
Is that 24 inches?
This is a 24-inch. It's a jumbo Stormtrooper, and I paid like $140. In a Goodwill auction. It did not come with a box, but everything was included. Like,
so do you think they were $300 at one time?
I think that retail they were $300 because when they try to do that Skeletor one and that other one, when Mondo does those, they sell those for like $300. Gotcha. And they had a Godzilla that was, I think, $300, right? A full size one. Yeah.
It's interesting to see, but I wonder if Super 7 already has, there's the licensing rights to do these Shogun toys in 3 3/4, and now in their 7-inch, because Dino got that ultimate Godzilla, which is also badass. I wonder if their licensing deal, they're allowed to do them a 24-inch again.
I think that I'm going to look it up really quick because I think Super 7 had the Godzilla. But I feel like they did a jumbo one where it was
actually neon pink or something. Like, I don't know.
Didn't they do one that was like 24 inches, or somebody did one that was like 24 inches, but it was super expensive. It was over $300.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I feel like there was one that came out recently, but anyways, I'd be up for that if I could see if I could get it for the retail.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It means there's more
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, Dino was in the chat, but he didn't actually call anybody to interrupt the show. He usually calls John and then the two of them, like they did. You remember like the last time we streamed, John had his camera off. Turns out that him and Dino live stream on Dino's channel while he had his camera turned off there.
Exactly.
He did a
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
G.I. Joe live stream right in the middle of the stream.
Yeah. No, we were making a GI Joe deal. I bought a giant
Shenanigans.
collection of GI Joes.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's see. What was this? Somebody put this in there.
That was me. There's a new rumor of a new retro box set.
So what's the rumor?
That there is a new retro box set, and its
And
code
which
name is Odysseus.
Odysseus. Yeah.
What is it? What are the figures that are rumored to be in there?
Unknown, but Yak Face does a lot of digging on the interwebs, and he finds like shipping manifests, from on container ships and on there. It'll be like this container
code names, right?
all
You
these
have the code
Hasbro
names?
toys, and this is what they're called. And so somewhere in the code, it probably said SW Retro.
So
Odysseus.
I think Usual Mike did a video on it too. Was there speculation that this was going to be like a Phantom Menace wave or something like that?
Didn't they already do that?
Speculation at this
Oh,
point.
did they?
Yeah, this would end up being the Attack of the Clones wave.
Okay,
You're
so
all wrong. It's the Hammerhead wave.
Oh, Bern, I sent him some pictures of some vintage Adventure Team G.I. Joe from Full Moon Toys and Collectible. Today's
he had to get his Full Moon Toys and Collectibles in there. Oh my gosh, dude!
Mute him. But no,
He's never
I did this leftover theory like last year that the next retro box set will have Hammerhead and a Cantina crew.
the Toy Jeopardy show. With the
Did he send them to me
awesome
where? Like on?
Sean is making his appearance because everyone's been asking for him to come back. So I will see you all tomorrow.
We're not doing
Oh
this
yeah,
tomorrow.
you guys are doing your fitness, toys and fitness in the morning, right? I don't know. I didn't see any pictures, so he's lying. All right. Anyways, do you want to speculate any guesses besides Hammerhead? Who's going to be in this this retro?
Well, I'm trying to think of like the Odyssey, Odysseus. What? It could be anything, right? It doesn't ever make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It would be logical to have it be either Attack of the Clones or Empire Strikes Back, right?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna keep going on these new
The prequels.
Hold on. Do you think these code names mean anything?
No.
I have no idea.
Are they meant to be like a hint?
No, I think they
you don't know what it is.
They tend to just pick some theme, right?
Like a bunch of street names in Chicago. Or
Do you think that they might not come through and end up doing these because people are all in outrage because they decided to like rumor report some retro? So now Hasbro decides, well, we're just not going to do it.
I think it means they're already on the boat. Like they're literally already.
They're on the boat.
I don't think Hasbro's that petty where they would cancel production on a product because something leaked out.
So they're going to say pre-order coming up, right? For delivery in November, and then they'll ship right after they take payment of their HasLab for next year.
Yeah,
it could even be that episode 1 set that Hasbro's already revealed.
Yeah.
But because it's just a code name, it's you
don't know. Oh, okay.
It could be that based on the fact that it's already on a boat. It's I'm gonna say it's 50-50. It's either that or another unannounced wave, which
I have a feeling
it's the anniversary of episode 1. So I'm gonna say it's not episode 2 and it's not episode 3. It could be Andor because that would be badass. And
well, I think in Mike's
more original trilogy, like another 6 figures.
Well, the 6-packs have been limited to the Skywalker saga.
Yes, but it's some of their best-selling products. So
isn't it rumored that there's going to be 2 of these packs coming out this year?
Yeah, because the episode 1 might not come out this year. It's weird. Like, how could something be on a boat that they haven't announced, but yet they've announced something that hasn't gone into production yet? Like, so it's it's weird, man. I don't understand some of these companies and how their marketing works. I really don't. This isn't marketing. This is a fan site like Yak Face, who we all like and support because we're Star Wars nerds. Like some of this information is public and some of it's not really public.
So how many people are buying all of these animated Batman figures?
No, but they look great.
They're hot.
I'm just getting ready to say the same thing. I love them. I'm not getting any, but
What I have a problem with is McFarlane markets these as 6-inch action figures, and we all know that McFarlane Batman figures are not 6 inches. Right?
But are these ones going to be 6-inch because they're a little bit they're the different? They're not going to be like their regular.
Why would he make a fourth? This would be
Should we just call it the McFarlane scale?
Well, it's because even the ones that have already come out aren't 6-inch. The only ones that were 7-inch were the ones that came in that multiverse packaging originally, like in the first couple waves. But the new ones that are in that black and red packaging are shorter. They're not 7-inch.
The cartoon.
So the new cartoon ones are shorter. They're not 7 inches.
So these are re-releases, right? They're just not cell shaded. Is that what the deal is? Okay.
Well, the Batman is, but the Croc guy is new. We haven't had him yet.
Oh, I thought they were all new.
I don't think we've had that Batgirl yet in the new ones.
The male figures look very top heavy.
No, they're
they do.
5
they're
inches.
gonna need to stand. Yeah, they will.
The Batman Retros, Batman 66 are 5.5 inches, which is weird. And the superpowers are
4.5 or something.
Inches.
Yeah.
The comic book ones are 2 inches.
Yeah, his scales are all over the place.
McFarlane Batman toys are that 7-inch scale, like NECA and Super 7 and some other toy line. So it's too many sizes. Just pick a size.
All right. And so Rick's gonna buy all of these.
Is the little kid coming with the Crocmaster? Is that how it works?
I'm too old. I didn't watch Batman.
No, that is its figure all by itself, John. It's gonna be that's actually
gonna be a deluxe figure for $35.
On that the little kid, that's actually the Build-A-Figure.
That's the deluxe figure. That's gonna be $35.
They look great. I love toys based on animation. This is just not an animation I watched when I was younger.
All right, let's see what else. Did you guys see this Mezco thing?
I like these guys. It's a good original character. I like it.
Yeah,
that animation that they did to promote this thing was freaking awesome.
And they're using a cool Star Wars font too, which I really like.
Right. I thought it was like really cool. So
they're $100 here or more.
Yeah, I won't be able. I won't.
They look so good though with all the soft goods.
No, he can't afford that. That's too much.
I saw Destro when I was buying his Warduke in a case, like open with his case and suitcase. He looks badass, man.
Yeah,
it's like buying a case of Black Series figures, though. It's the same price.
Yeah, the 112 figures are just they look really cool. I tell you why I'm not into any of them though. It's the cloth goods. It's the soft goods.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you like GI Joe dolls? That's weird.
Well, the 12-inch ones, those the clothes on those 12-inch Joes, I thought were made fairly well because they're like like a heavier material because they're supposed to be like fatigues or whatever. But when you talk about those old Mego superheroes, they're like my socks. Their heel always got a hole in them or something like that. The knees would rip or get worn or something like that. So that type of material, I just don't think stands the test of time. I know
You're right. It's a good point. The old GI Joe dolls, the kids could take them out, throw them in the swamp, throw them up in a tree and kick them down the road and bring it home, and it still has his clothes and no arms are broken and he's still got his flocked hair. Try and do that with one of these or a hot toy, you're done, man.
Yeah, or even because those Mego superhero outfits, unless you just pose them and left them on the shelf or put them in a box, that fabric would just tear and get old.
The Megos were bad. They were cheap compared to.
But I don't know what you're saying about hot toys. I threw my hot toy off the roof and it landed in the parking lot. It's totally fine. I threw it in the river back there. It's totally fine.
I'm going to end up like leaving and coming back because this StreamYards keeps stalling out on me. Hold on, I'll be right back.
We'll take over the show. So both those shadow aliens down by John, yeah.
Wasn't there
Yeah,
one in Brazil as well?
There was a 10-foot tall shadow
Did that
alien
not
in
take
down.
over your internet for the past week? Was shadow aliens and tunnel Jews? Like, isn't that? I'm in Canada, and all I see
it
is
was
news
in
about
yeah, it was
Jewish
in
people
downtown.
digging tunnels in New York and
Well, I don't know
shadow
about
aliens
that.
in Miami.
They were. It was downtown Miami. Apparently, they got 50 cops chasing it.
It was
50 police officers who had better things to do.
Every cop in that county was sent to the scene, which apparently was a bunch of kids fighting with sticks, according
Yeah,
to the
it wasn't really a shadow alien. Yeah, it was someone else.
But it's so funny because all these new alien videos, now there's one that looks like a probe droid. They're calling it a jellyfish.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, that's cool.
It's just bird shit on a camera lens. Like people, I mean, they're all filmed with like iPhone.
So how does it change color?
They're called like iPhone 1. You know,
it
like,
turns from black to white. How does it change color if it's just bird shit?
I'm a believer, but man, get better cameras, all you people. Jesus.
I don't think it's a matter of belief. It's yes or no. It's fact or not fact.
Well, all the evidence is shot on iPhone 1s.
Look, I got something to say about this. We actually talked about this thing on the show before because we were talking about like, you're talking about how like every picture of the 12-foot alien in Florida is like blurry. And we were talking about this and we had this conversation about like, why is it that everybody's phone, like whenever they take a picture of a UFO or they take a picture of something, you can't make out what's in it. But that's a 4.
Or whatever it is.
That's a 5. That's a 5S.
No, it's
the one. I think the one was curved
in 12 DPI. If I tried, like it's not an option on anyone's smartphone, even if your phone is like the first Nokia flip phone. The video quality on that is still better than all footage we've ever seen of.
Let's see that again.
Aliens.
Let's see that phone again. That's your daily use phone.
No, I pulled this out of storage.
That's your daily use.
See the number? There's no number because it was just called the iPhone when it came out. That's it. That's iPhone 1. And this
was it the one curved? I thought it was curved.
Like the
but we talked about this, and I even showed a picture that was taken on like the iPhone 14. And what happened was it was like a crash that happened like across the street, and then it's like, oh my gosh, check out this crash. And then somebody took a picture of it from their window at night. And they sent it to me. I was like, what the heck am I looking at? It took me a long time to figure out that it was a crash, went down an embankment and went through the person's living room because it just looked like a bunch of glaring lights and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is how,
it right there.
Because people don't take their time to actually take the picture. You know what I mean? Like,
well, plus the thing is,
I got a good picture of it.
Plus, the thing is that if something goes by the sky at 658,000 miles an hour, and I pick up my camera to take a picture of it, it's going to be just a blurry streak.
All right, John, do you know it has one question for you based on that whole conversation? Why are you throwing your toys off the roof?
Rick said they wouldn't withstand the impact.
Here's what happened. John looked at the guys that were doing construction on his house with the 200-mile-per-hour proof windows, and he said, we had this argument on our show, so what I need you to do is bring a blower that will blow this hot toy at 149 miles per hour right at the glass.
Mr. Beast will do it.
It's like a toy version of Jackass.
Yeah.
All right, and then
we couldn't do it with a Black Series figure. We had to do it with a really expensive Hot Toys.
Now, Boss Fight's going to come out with this newer version of Popeyes.
This doesn't look like Popeye.
Which character in Popeye is that?
He doesn't have a mustache.
Have you guys? I don't know who it is, but I mean, they did the Popeye, right? The 112 Popeye, and then the Boss Fight had the Popeye figure. And apparently it was pretty good. I didn't get one, but people that got them, like they showed them off. They look really cool. Anybody interested in these?
I'm just again, I don't have any idea who this character is. Like there's only 4 characters in Popeye that I know of. Popeye, Bluto, the woman,
Oliver,
and Blimpy, and the little baby, Sweet Pea or whatever. There's other characters on Popeye. Like I don't know them.
What did you say the hamburger dude?
Wimpy?
Yeah, Wimpy. Yeah. I ate at his
Asian
restaurant.
hamburgers. This must be
Yeah,
the
he
guy
has
that makes
great-
these burgers.
Those hamburgers are awesome at
Look,
his
it doesn't
restaurant.
say his name anywhere on here. That's
What
weird.
about Jeep?
Popeye's older than me.
What is it? Do you think Beetlejuice would make a good Godzilla?
What?
Okay. Yeah.
A really big jumbo Beetlejuice.
I
Sure.
guess Beetlejuice.
Don't say it 3 times.
Oh,
My gosh.
gotta go
I
back
am
and
looking
edit.
forward to the second, the Beetlejuice 2 movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice the Goon.
Forgot about the Goon. Yeah.
Is that who this
No,
is?
this is what we talked about though with like the A Team, right? So these guys have they had that successful Popeye. So now do they just have to make variations of characters that look kind of like Popeye? Like we were talking about, if the A Team line came around, they would make their A Team guys in regular clothes, and they would make them in military fatigues, then they would make them in their costumes, and then stuff like that. I know I'm putting John
Dressed up like
Oh,
Godzilla.
they need 4 guys, and they got to call them the bad guys. And
Yeah.
every race of, like what they did with the retros, those are
Yeah.
fun. Bad guys. It's cool if they're popular
It's-
and people are buying the first ones, then they'll keep it going, right?
right.
But here's what I know about the Popeye license is I believe it's like the one that's the cheapest. It's like when you look at Hasbro or not Hasbro, Star Wars or Marvel or
You know what
Jack
license is
Reacher.
free?
Popeye.
Steamboat- Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse,
it's-
and Steamboat Willie, free.
I was just going to ask, is Popeye in the public domain yet?
Yeah,
or
it
is
might
he
be public
still-
now.
No, it's not yet, but it's dirt cheap because it was.
He's
offered
got to
to
be
me.
like 90 years old, isn't he?
It was offered to me once, and they said you could pay later.
They
can
said
pay later? Why
We'll give
don't
you the
you
license,
have
you can pay
Popeye
later.
pins then?
Licensing is quite
Yeah.
interesting when you see the difference in values between properties. And
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Hot Toys, right, John? You're all into these Hot Toys?
I'm not getting this. No.
You don't want to spend $2,000 for a DeLorean?
It's not a stormtrooper.
I like
But
the
look at
first
but look
two
at those
DeLoreans
tires.
better, though.
All my Hot Toys are stormtroopers, so no.
But the tires have white and red, just like those zombie
They do,
stormtroopers.
I
white
don't
wall.
care.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Eric, you're gonna get it, right?
Never
Does it
bought
come with a
Hot Toy.
horse? Does it come with a horse?
Or 2 horses.
No, it wasn't
You
even
gotta have
pulled by a horse.
reins. The reins have to be attached to something, don't they?
Oh, it was it pulled by a horse at one point?
He's holding onto the reins. Yeah,
Well,
Is
then
that how they
most
got it to the
horses-
railroad tracks?
yeah. That's how they got it back to the village. Remember, they had to tow the
But
horses.
this is
towed it.
after they had made the flux capacitor.
No, they weren't sitting on the roof when they went back in time.
No,
They were
see
in the car.
see the box on the front. This looks like they're going to the railroad tracks to push it with the train.
I need to rewatch this. I haven't
I don't
seen
know.
Back to the Future 3 in God knows how
It could
long.
be that because these are toys, they just manufactured a picture they thought looked cool.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
true because I don't recall this scene.
Well, it's $2,270.
But guarantee
That makes you
someone
money.
in everyone's city is buying one of these.
How much is it, Dan?
$2,270.
No, it isn't really.
Yeah,
Have
Is
you
it
seen
really
one?
that much?
because of the DeLorean.
Have you
That's
seen one of these
insane.
in person, like one of the Hot Toys vehicles, like the Batmobile or the DeLorean? They're incredible, man. Like
I saw
they shouldn't cost the same as a real car, but I mean they look pretty cool. Like their quality.
at
I'm not gonna
Comic
call them
Con
toys,
2
collectibles.
years ago, they had the N1 Starfighter, and it
Oh,
was
You know,
Hot Toy scale, yeah.
yeah, it was massive. It was so cool looking, and I was like,
you know,
man,
if
I couldn't even get this in my front door.
No, it's crazy.
if Dino buys it for me, I will do that.
Throw it off the
I'll
roof.
throw it off the roof.
Why not?
If you buy it for me, I will. Yeah.
All right, here's the thing. I was
Hot Wheels and make it farther away.
was-
so it's
I was-
big.
Working
Yeah, look how. Yeah.
Look at this Hot Toy.
so I'm trying to get this his tank right. Not too much, but it's not going to come with figures.
It's
And,
awesome. That's so good.
Now I don't know anybody who's actually interested in just the tank for that, right? Like who's going to want it. So if I get it, should I just blow it up
If it's
Wait,
free.
or throw it off the
Mod it.
roof? Or
you
something?
only want the figures. You don't want the tank.
I might not be able to get the figures with it.
But you want the tank, right?
I have the tank, but I was gonna grab the tank for somebody else. But the guy that's like, oh well, the figures, right? Like kind of like a separate thing, whatever. So
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I thought that's what you wanted.
My local big collector store, Toy Traders, we went there last week. We asked him because he's a big GI Joe fan, right?
Right.
We were like, hey, did Matthew get any his tanks like to sell or resell or whatever? And like, yeah, he got like 10 of them, and they're all gone the same day.
Really?
Like, how much you selling them for? And he said like $580 or something. So what did they cost in US dollars?
$350.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. Like,
no, John.
I go, well, that's why you sold them all the same day, because you sold them for literally what they cost. And he's a collector store. Usually, he has jumbo hammerhead there, and it's been there for 4 years up on the shelf. It has a price tag of $480 on it.
What?
Like, I can never buy that because you want that much money for it. I even offered him, like, I'll trade you my Razor Crest for that hammerhead, just because I'm stupid that way, but couldn't do it. So I'm surprised.
I think it was $299.
Okay, it was like 8,000 Canadian.
Whatever.
Yeah, because I remember after tax, because there was no shipping, and then after taxes, it wasn't even $320 or something like that.
But I wish I had the space for one of those.
None of my play friends have one, so I was hoping to see one on display there, and he sold them all.
Yeah. Anyways, did you guys finish watching that Monarch Legacy of Monsters?
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Cool.
Oh, you haven't finished it?
No, but I do want it. I've enjoyed it. I'm like 2 episodes.
All right, well, don't watch my shorts then.
There was a monster.
I did. I watched your show.
Finally,
some time machine thing, but it's not. I don't know.
There was a battle. King Kong.
Finally, there were monsters.
I am enjoying Echo though. I think I'm 50% through 3 episodes or 4 episodes, and I do like it. I think it's got a decent budget. I like how they make Kingpin look like
he's the best.
Like he's like
I will
thing, and the fighting I think is brilliant. I really do like and appreciate the First Nation heritage behind her character and all that stuff. But I think it might be like 70% of the show is them going and showing us. So I'm a little thrown off a little bit, but I do appreciate it and I'm enjoying it because of that. Like
I think that part of that
thing now in pop culture is the whole First Nation thing, which is cool. I dig it. I like it.
I do think that part of that though, Rick, is they wanted to give her like some type of a superpower, and they thought like this is the way to kind of do it.
Well, it's an existing Marvel character that has that power, isn't it not, John?
Yeah, but I think up until now,
that's not her powers in the comics.
No.
Yeah, so up until now, she's just like really good at fighting and stuff like that. But with
that's the main thing.
With this whole backstory going on, I think it's like a segue into let's throw some superpowers on that because
it's cool. She's a good actress. I really like. I like her.
What do you think? Do you think that Disney Plus, if they're going to drop all the episodes like that, should have an option where you can just like watch all, and it will skip the intros and the backstory stuff, and just play through like a movie
for an extra
I actually think every show should be done that way, because I get sick of watching like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka and stuff with all these interruptions.
Yeah, because
a lot of times I put it on in the background while I'm working on stuff, and every hour I got to pick up the remote and hit skip.
Oh, all that labor.
The
labor.
First world problems.
It should just play right through.
It's not that big of a deal.
It is too, Eric.
Hold on. So John changes his name at the beginning of every stream, and I made a comment about it, and he said, "Come on, dude, he's just typing some letters." And now he's like, "I gotta hit skip." I don't have time to hit skip because I'm typing in a new name.
Exactly.
Still not finished.
I think I'm on the minority on this one, but I would like to see intermissions on like a 2.5-hour movie in the theater.
Sure.
I'm tired.
Didn't they do that for Lord of the Rings when it was in the theaters?
They did,
yeah. I mean, I'm in it to be in it, and I'm sitting there sipping my soda and like.
I don't remember other movies ever doing that in the modern day, but I do remember at least one or two of those Lord of the Rings Hobbit movies that were 3+ hours long.
Didn't The Irishman have an intermission on Netflix?
But that was, you don't need intermission on
I
TV.
think they split it or something like that. I feel like it was split somehow, but you might be right. But are you, Dan? Are you talking about in the theater or on streaming?
Theater. Yeah, I mean, I've in the complete opposite. I know I jumped, but you were talking about
The only time I ever remember intermission was if it was like a double feature or at the drive-in.
All the time, I miss driving.
You know, that between movies they would just call it intermission, and you can run over and see if you can be the first person in line to get the super greasy pizza.
Godfather,
you guys,
intermission, okay.
You guys like drive-ins suck.
You probably have never seen a drive-in.
I have. I've been to a drive-in and it sucked, like shitty audio quality, and like I don't
had
want
that stupid little. When we were kids, they had that little speaker
box
on the window.
Yeah, it's a single speaker that had a volume.
They had a speaker you put in your window, Eric, if you didn't know. And
no, that's what. And it sucked.
You can turn it into like channel 1 on your radio.
Yeah, you can do that. That's right. Yep.
You'll have an AM frequency that you can
listen.
We used to go as a family all the time for double headers. You'd sneak the children in the trunk, you know.
Mom used to put us under the floor. Our station wagon had a removable floor. We called it the Millennium Falcon. And we would smuggle ourselves in by hiding under the floor.
We had a Volkswagen Beetle when I was a kid. This is now you got to remember 70s, 80s. So we had that luggage rack. It was the metal luggage rack that's on top of the roof of the Volkswagen. And when we would get to the theater, we'd throw like blankets and pillows up there. And I remember we used to lay on top of that to watch the movies. Which was actually really cool.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your parents would load it up in luggage. You'd be in the luggage, smuggled into the suitcase.
And then as you get older, you would just go in a pickup truck and park backwards.
Yeah.
It was a cool part of growing up. It was a neat thing.
Yeah. It was definitely. Let's see, Godfather 2 had an intermission. Who saw Godfather 2 in the theater?
No, not me.
Don't admit it if you don't want to age yourself.
You would have had to have been 18 to see that in the theater, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You were supposed to be, but we used to sneak into we used to go to the theater and buy a ticket for a movie that was around the same time as the rated R movie, and then we would just walk into the rated R movie instead of because when we were kids, they never checked tickets. They didn't think that was even possible.
Oh, I've got a story for you guys. This is really dumb. When I was in middle school, I would go with my friends to the movies, and the ushers at the local movie theater did check. Like they were like, "Oh no, you can't go into the rated R movies or whatever." There was some shitty movie called Tomcats in the early 2000s. I want to say I can't even remember who the hell was in this movie, but I remember we had like our strategy was to try and figure out, okay, what was like the movie theater was broken up into like 4 sections, like 2 wings on each of the like 2 floors that they had. So we had to figure out which other movie was playing around the same time as the one we really wanted to see, and they were all connected through like they had an emergency exit hallway behind. So we get tickets to the like one nearby, but we'd have to still kind of like sometimes we could go through the back, but you still needed to have someone in the movie theater you wanted to go to so that you
they could open the door.
You open the door in the hallway for everyone else who went through. So my job was to create a distraction for my friend who was going to the movie. We really want to see Tomcats. So I slipped, like I faked, like this was like Looney Tunes style. Like I slipped on my ass and started like convulsing, faking a seizure. I did.
Come on.
and all the movie theater staff like came rushing over, and the guys the usher that was nearby that I distracted didn't know what was going on. My friend got in the movie theater, and I'm shitting my pants because one of the guys behind the counter.
You shit your pants on purpose to get into a movie theater?
No. But it was like, oh my God, we're calling the ambulance. So
oh no,
it's like, I'm gonna have to like split from this. So I got up and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have to explain this to the cops or whatever. And the guy
suddenly got better.
Yeah, I sprung up and the ticket taker's like, what? I'm like, it was only gum on my shoe, and I just ran. Like, that's the only thing I can think of to say. It was like,
So
it was only gum on my.
That was teenage Eric, right?
Oh yeah. So I run away.
This was last week. Week.
So I run away. So I run away and I go into the movie theater that like I had the ticket for, and go. Like we go in through the back hallway right as the movie starts, and we start running up the stairs, and everyone else, like all these like older teenagers and like 20-year-olds were like, oh yeah, little kids or like whatever, getting into the movie. And then the cops came into the theater and started like shining a light trying to find us, and like thankfully some like older like kids like
Big kids
that were nearby were like trying to like shield us and say no, they're with us, this is not who you're looking for or whatever. So that was like
kids you're looking for.
Yeah, so if you ever need to like fake a seizure and distract people, the excuse to give is not like it was only gum on my shoe.
Gum on your shoe.
I never did nothing like that. We would buy a ticket, go see a movie, like whatever, and then we would maybe go hang in a bathroom or hide somewhere and try to get into another movie that was 2 hours later. Kind of.
No, there's no statute of limitations on theft of movie tickets.
We bought tickets. We bought tickets. It just wasn't for the rated R movie. Yeah.
That's funny. Do you have any more toy news, Vern?
No, unfortunately.
I just wanted to ask about McFarlane revealed a wave of Batman 7-inch figures exclusive to his website for $15 more than every other Batman figures ever made. It's a Superman Crisis Infinity Earth.
Oh yeah, we were looking at those
each. A Build-A-Figure wave, which is a lot because McFarlane figures are $20 US.
But they're valuable because you can only get them on his website.
No, but I thought that was a big newsworthy thing as a toy.
I didn't actually see it. I'm sorry.
Even though I don't collect those toys, the Batman toys, I wonder if that's a thing now. Like we're like, I wonder if I can charge, $15 less than Super 7, but $15 more than Hasbro, and will people still buy it? I wonder if this is a test, or
now these are the
35 of each, and he has to charge that much. I'm kind of surprised by it because it's weird to raise your prices like 30% on one particular wave. Or will it just be the new price going forward? Because if that's a new price going forward, $40 American for a McFarlane toy, are Walmart and Target still going to carry them, and GameStop?
Okay, let me pull this up. Is this,
that, in my opinion?
Is it
nobody?
Hold on.
Not even the dude.
Is it this thing?
Old man Superman and yes.
Okay, so it's this set right here. So if I click on it, it's currently on sale for $135 from $160.
But look at
you're right. The Superman Earth is $40.
That's
so each of these figures
more than a regular Superman.
Yeah, that's crazy. What makes them so valuable?
So you're saying I can't get that Spectre,
but he has lots of exclusives to his store, which is why I'm wondering. It's not a different license he has to pay for. As far as I know, DC is DC. I don't think there's categories within DC where you pay more for certain characters.
So at this point, oh no, because this is only
it's only a
it's only 4 figures, right?
Yeah, 4 figures to build a figure.
4, 8, 12, 16. So it is cheaper right now if you just buy this that's on sale. But you're not saving the 90 bucks.
It doesn't make any sense. And that's American prices. So that means.
But let's take a look at Superman and find out why he's so valuable. I mean,
he has a soft goods case.
Look at that. Look, he has articulation. He's got that little curl on his hair. He's got a double jointed elbow, double jointed knee.
I hate those pins, man.
Elbow joints.
Look at that. It
That's
flies
how-
all by itself.
Yes, it
It
flies.
flies off by itself.
It's flying out.
He comes with
Extra arms.
and hands, and a card.
Trading card, yeah.
So
Only flies
isn't that
when it's
way
up.
more than you would get with any other McFarlane figure?
No, so I believe McFarlane figures without a Build-A-Figure part are $20 US. McFarlane
But they
Build-A-Figure
used to come with
figures are
Build-A-Figures, and that's how
25 US. So this is even more than 25 as a Build-A-Figure. I thought there was a lot of people that collected the Batmans, and I thought that was outrageous for the great Canadian Toddy Mac to pull such a prank, because it's up to him only. He doesn't answer to nobody when it comes to his company. He is the boss. So that price was raised by him, and I just wonder if it was an experiment or if he's going balls deep.
So G-Force is saying he heard that there was an exclusive deal with a retailer that fell through, and then he just marked him up on his site.
Good point.
And then Jonathan saying he oh yeah, you know what? He does have butterfly joints.
Dude, none of the other ones have them?
What?
I said it.
It looks like a good prop. I just don't like the pins, man.
Right there, he's got that special joint. That costs a lot of money to do that. And then to be able to tuck this cape underneath his skin, that's a lot of money to do that.
It's under his shirt, not his skin.
No, it's under his skin. The
labor,
the
put
shirt
it in the
turns
package.
it on.
No, the head and neck is a separate plastic piece that goes in and holds that.
Look at all the detailing and paint work. I mean, there was a lot of work that went into giving this guy all those wrinkles, his crow's feet.
He's got little gray hairs.
He's got some gray hair in there. Look at this little thing, dimple in the middle of his chin. Rick.
There's actually like a real hair. Can you see the real hair on his cape?
Yeah, I mean, look at it.
Ban all McFarlane Toys for not getting rid of that hair in his production photos. That's crap. Come on, man.
This one right here?
Yeah, we can have hair in our toy photos.
They can't all have
McFarlane
hair.
and Hasbro and Mezco can't have hair. Come on, man. Disgrace.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
What's
this thing is totally worth. This thing is totally worth $15 more than all the other figures that are just like it.
Oh, it's weird. I thought that was newsworthy toy news for.
I missed it.
The world's number one toy podcast. That was interesting.
Does anyone know? Does anyone know if there are any? Anyone know if Hasbro has any fan streams coming up? I'm not sure if I've heard anything.
Nothing's been announced, but Yak Face has made another post, that retro kind of announcement that there's 20 vintage collection announcements and something like 20 Black Series announcements. But no one, Hasbro's not announced any fan streams, but usually they do that 3 days in advance usually. So I would predict there is something coming up for the Star Wars team. It's usually monthly.
My pre-order list has cut dramatically over the past couple months.
Yeah,
there's not that much on pre-order compared.
I have 6.
Yeah, this guy just came in today.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, that was good.
Nice.
Carson Chivas.
Put it on. Looks like
another good Canadian kid.
You won't be able to hear me.
On a microphone. Can you just use that for streaming?
Hear you while you wear a helmet for a second.
It's like
he'll never get it. He'll never get it back off.
Nice knowing you, Eric.
Stay on target, Eric. Stay on target.
He'll never get it back off.
The colors look great.
Yeah,
it's a good fit.
Nice. That looks good.
That's awesome.
Now do this.
Come on, where's the fireworks?
I know, where's the fireworks? Come on.
You're messing with the AI with no helmet.
Oh, his nose came off with that one.
No, it doesn't work for me. Damn it, I don't have the stupid AI filter.
Yeah, I don't know how you got the AI filter on there. I don't have that.
$5. Yep.
DOT
Nope.
approved too.
If you flip the bird,
So-
shouldn't Stone Cold music just automatically play, like the breaking glass?
So the problem with that Carson Teva helmet, in my opinion, is that in the graphic it looks like it's an X-wing that's exploding behind the Mandalorian. So I think Carson Teva's gets blown up in the
No
first 5
way.
minutes of the movie.
That's a great Canadian Carson Teva.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, he can't die.
We need more Canadians in Star Wars.
I don't know how you do that virtual thing there. Let's see. Layouts.
It's not a StreamYard thing. I'm positive. It's has something to do with.
Oh, your camera, huh? But I have a MacBook, so it's not
Are you
doing
using an iPhone, Eric, for your camera?
No, it's my MacBook.
So yeah, I think it's an Apple thing.
Just don't microwave it.
I don't know. Maybe it's like
You're in the chat.
But you once you had like a think bubble come up, like
You know what, McFarlane, he's actually doing that photo contest too. If you draw like a cover on his little blue sheet, he might pick you to have your own printed cover, which is actually kind of cool. So
But you really should get like $10,000 US because that's what a good cover artist would earn. I would think.
So are you drawing one, Rick?
No, I'm not. I love that kind of artwork, comic book art, or any kind of. Hey, Eric, you did it again.
I
But
figured
it's
out how to
not
do
my-
it, Vern. By the way,
It's not me.
if you're on your MacBook and you're using the integrated camera, you'll see the camera up at the top toolbar.
Oh yeah.
So click that, and then there's a reactions thing that you can disable. But you can also, like, if you expand that, you can choose which reaction you want to just manually trigger.
Oh, it's weird because I am using my camera and I see the little camera logo, but it's not. It's just saying Google. It's not.
Maybe
showing
you
me.
need to. I'm not sure which OS you're on. Maybe it's you're on a different OS.
Oh,
that
maybe.
doesn't
Yeah, I
support it.
typically don't update anything ever. So, oh, it's raining already there. I'm sorry.
No, I just shoveled like 5 inches of snow off my driveway this morning.
So Dino's asking if that helmet has sounds and lights.
It does. It does.
Oh, Dino here?
It has sounds from when he's going after Mando in the Razor Crest, and also when he's talking to him in the N1.
Now, do you
Yeah.
think the future of these like Star Wars helmets should be that they put like some sort of an AI chat GPT type thing built in there where you can just have like a conversation with somebody once you put the helmet on?
Stop with the AI stuff.
Like you
Bert.
put it on, you're like, Red 5, where's the Death Star? And then like it
Red.
just hears it and then
You
it
never
says,
wanted to mute anybody on Twitter more the past couple days.
the Death Star is like 3 clicks, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just do your own like gameplay. I mean,
Own Carson Teva. He lives here in Canada. He's
Yeah.
a real
I messaged that guy so many times and asked him to come on. And I
Me
don't
too.
I think that I am
Horrible.
in his direct message purgatory, you know, the requests one where like if you never go check it, you'll never get messages from that person. That's what I'm.
I want to join his streams
Channel?
when he's on, but
Yeah, he's good on the stream. I've joined
but I'm
him
usually
sometimes.
busy when he's gone live and whatnot. But,
Unboxing Sundays or something.
yeah.
He switched to those expensive hot toys though.
He's not.
He used-
Yeah,
He was
He's a
he
pretty
was doing
poor-
some other
he's
stuff
one
in
of
the
the poorest
beginning.
Canadians up here. You know, acting doesn't pay well.
He was doing those fun boxings from like his hotel in like LA or wherever they were working on that Airbender
Vancouver.
show.
Vancouver.
Mm.
Come on, LA. Like they make
They don't
stuff in
film
LA.
anything in Vancouver.
Film everything in Vancouver. Pedro is in Vancouver right now filming his video game show. So there's my other prediction. Pedro will be in the Mando show.
Oh no. It's the fact that he's not going to be in it at all,
And
from what I heard.
it will
Just
be
a voice,
made in
right?
Vancouver. You heard it here first. The Mando movie will be made in Vancouver.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be in it, especially if it's going to be in a movie. In my opinion, I think there's no way that he's not in it because the payday for a movie is way more than the
Yeah.
show, and I think that just changes everything because the shooting schedule will be tighter and
Yeah,
move
you can
along
just-
quickly. I think his big
leave
complaint
the-
with not wearing the helmet right? Like for long periods of time because of the way a show is built.
Yep.
But I think because of the movie schedule, it won't be the same. situation.
Anything's possible, right? But you'd be hard pressed to believe that he would show his face in a Mando feature film. Right?
Exactly, because it's a film. Because
we all know he's gonna
when you're in the
eventually die,
academy, all of those film credits count. You know what I mean? And then like when you're working in an industry that you get a retirement because of the Screen Actors Guild or whatever, not doing a role isn't going to help that kind of retirement and residual that you're going to get like later. In my
and you're
opinion.
under contract. A lot of these people they sign on like you have, like Tobey Maguire. You have to do 11 Spider-Man movies or whatever his contract is. You have to do those. Like you can't get out of that contract. You can't. I'm sure there's ways of doing it, but I mean, if it's progressing your career as an actor, like Pedro, who's now rumored to be the main character in the Fantastic Four movie and Among Us, the TV show, and the Mando, and he started with the Game of Thrones and whatever back in the day. The dude's a growing, Hollywood actor, and he's gonna get paid and be in high demand. So of course these people have schedules and schedule conflicts. So now the new thing that I saw today was they were planning on making Fantastic. This is just news that dropped today that I saw. Fantastic Four was scheduled to start filming or start pre-production in early February or March. Like now it might be postponed until after Christmas because of Pedro's schedule. So that
is he for sure cast in it?
That means it's because of the Mando movie. They're not going to be able to start making Fantastic Four that they announced like 2 years ago. So that's being delayed if Pedro's the main actor in that because he's doing Last of Us and Mando.
It's the price
and
of
maybe he's doing
unbearable
Wonder
massive
Woman 3.
talent.
I don't know. But he's a
Is he
popular
going to
guy
be
now.
Reed Richards?
That's
I don't think
rumor.
anything's been confirmed.
Yeah, that's not a good Reed Richards. I'm sorry. He's a good actor.
that's not.
I don't. He's not Reed Richards.
It's the main rumor now.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's not how I see Reed Richards.
No, I want that guy.
I mean, like.
What about John Krasinski?
I mean, it's a little
That's what I
bit.
want, yeah.
It's a little
But
bit.
John Krasinski was him in a different multiverse. So for that reason, they're saying
I don't think he's going to be it either. I think he kind of already came out and said that was just fan service for that one film.
That was great.
So-
That's a great choice.
So
And he's a bunch of strips
And
of rubber bands.
Gladiator 2, collecting Star Wars. Steve-O calls out he's also the main guy in Gladiator 2.
So I have to bring it up then. Does this mean that it only goes one direction? Like lately these days, if a character in a book or a novel was, say, Hispanic or African American, and it's played by a white guy, that they freak out. The whole internet goes apeshit. So if a character that in a book or a novel is a white guy that's suddenly played by a Hispanic,
No, that's not why I'm saying I don't think that he's not the Reed Richards I see. Reed Richards should be a slimmer, slinkier guy who's maybe a little bit taller with and they I know they can put the wings on him, the like gray-haired wings, but that's not how I see him.
I hear you.
Probably,
Okay.
I would probably just want to see younger. Not that Pedro Pascal's old, but I'd
Like,
probably want to see a younger cast that can. Probably,
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. More of like. I mean, I know Reed Richards has got to be like an established scientist and stuff like that, and I don't really see him as the Brainiac type of a character. The super smart scientist. I want Reed Richards to be a little bit nerdy-ish.
I like
Gotcha.
actors
Yeah,
that
yeah.
maybe aren't already a big, huge Hollywood star. Sometimes getting these new roles, which could turn them into a big kind of Hollywood
Yeah.
star. They all start somewhere. Young Harrison Ford, the guy in The Reacher, like he started Blue Mountain State high school football movie show or whatever, and now he's
That
like
guy,
8,000-pound kick-ass action figure dude, like hero, and like he's not a huge star, but there's no huge star. Schwarzenegger and Stallone,
exactly. Yeah.
they could not play that role that he's doing. Like
Listen,
he's
that
pretty badass, and I like that. I like because he's
that guy, Wyatt Russell, the one who was in Captain America: Winter Soldier. I didn't really like him in that at all, but I really like him in the Monarch. And there was like a point in the Monarch where when I was watching was they were getting into the little shuttle. All I thought was, man, he could be the $6 million man.
So could Ryan Gosling, who's doing the Fall Guy.
Yeah, that's a little bit odd to me, but I think it's going to work.
He'll be a big star. He's doing
All
well.
right.
See you guys later.
Yo, Danny.
Yeah,
see you
Dan.
later.
Well, we're
Bye,
going to be
Dan.
out of here pretty soon, too, because these guys keep bringing up subjects.
Subjects.
We got 1 minute. We got 1 minute. We gotta
It's
go.
fine. We were a little bit late. I know Rick has a lot to talk about.
Sorry.
Did you finish? Are you watching that Reacher? Are you caught up?
Yeah, I'm all caught up in Reacher. It's my priority show right now.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
So I'll go back and finish Echo this afternoon, I think. Well, maybe.
All right. Well, Rick was mentioning something earlier he wanted to talk about. Like, did you want to talk about what your number 1 video was last year?
If you want, like, I'm still going on.
Or do we want to do we can make that like a thing next week if you want to talk about that.
For sure, I just think that'd be fun. Like if we, John or Eric being the guy without the only guy without 1 million subscribers so far. It'd be neat to see who's had a video that had 1 million views or a short or.
I think it would be interesting too. So we'll plan that for next week.
None of my videos have 1 million views. What are you talking about?
Be like
5 views.
To talk about like maybe what your best short video was if you're doing them, your best long form video if you're doing them. You guys in the chat, I mean, absolutely. If you guys got your channels and stuff like that, let us know. We can talk about that. But I think it would be interesting to have a whole discussion about like the channel and like how it's been doing and like, are you doing anything different to try to like keep the consistency, or are you just sticking with that same a similar format? And what are these changes and how have they like affected like the views and stuff like that? So we'll do that next week, definitely. On the show, and then of course we'll be back. Do you guys have anything going on this week that you want to talk about before we head out of here?
I really don't think there's anything going on tomorrow that's of any note. Yeah, this is.
I think Dan and Dino are going to be doing their Toys and Fitness in the morning.
Are they really?
I believe so.
I lose like watch hours daily, and I don't know how YouTube works, but I'll upload a video. Say I get 1,000 views on it, then the next day, I've lost 32 view hours. I'm like, shouldn't I have gained 100 view hours? So I know it's fun to speculate, but it'd be a neat topic for us to talk about as co-YouTuber peoples.
Yeah, I think so. What works? I'd really be interested to know what kind of videos works on Eric's channel versus not. Are you ever going to do a video for your channel?
I would like to do something. The thing with like I can't put in the time to a channel like what you guys do with yours, right? Like to me, it would just be for fun, and it would never be for anything else. Like I could never stress out about like gaining viewership or anything else. It would just be like
I don't care.
Right? Like
do it.
All right, good.
The only thing would be like showing around the collection at some point.
Yeah. Someday you should just do one video and it's just a tour
Yeah.
of your whole collection.
Yeah.
I actually don't look at any of my analytics. I don't look at what views I have. I don't look at any. I just post videos and hope people watch it. Yeah.
I do because I want to learn more about it. It's new, like I'm always been in the technology, whether my Apple computers or the graphic design, but the video aspect of it, it's very interesting to me. Like before we started, I watched a YouTube video of Mr. Beast blowing up $500,000, and it already had like 19 million views, and it's been up like 18 minutes, and it blows me away. Some of this stuff, and that means
I don't. What it is I don't think that the problem is that I don't think that any of us are ever going to figure it out. I watch a guy who's got this channel called the Y Files, okay, and I've been watching him since I think I was like subscriber number 5,000, and now he's got like 2 million subscribers or something. And he was doing a live stream the other day, and he said that he was showing pictures. He was showing pictures of his previous live stream, and as soon as it was finished, he had only 1 view on it, but there was 7,000 people in the chat. during the stream. So he's like, how can my live stream have only one view on it if 70,000 people were watching it while it was live in the chat, you know? So I think that nobody, not even people who have 1 million subscribers, understand how YouTube works. And we're never going to figure it out.
Well,
You
we
know
can
what I
talk
mean?
about that next week. I mean, I think it'll be a really, really interesting discussion because I think I have all of the answers.
We'll leave it right there. And
all right, so no fitness and toys tomorrow. Jeopardy starting pretty soon, right, John? Celebrity
tomorrow,
Jeopardy?
yeah. Tomorrow is
John,
Jeopardy.
tomorrow, John.
Scuba Pete, G-Force, and Adventurous Joe.
Nice. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's always a lot of fun to watch people give the answer, not in the form of a question, and still get the points and win.
I'm just hoping that when I'm on, I think you have me next weekend, John?
Maybe it is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hoping when you have me on, you do your like Saturday morning cartoon sing along questions.
Oh, you want some sing alongs? Okay,
with the theme songs. The theme songs.
And I just saw we uploaded a segment from last year's where Dino was dressed up as She-Hulk.
Yes.
And Dino got like 5 questions right, and they were all the answer was Hulk. And then,
if he didn't answer in the form of a question,
or if he
still got him.
You fixed that, John, because he picked.
I think.
For one. And then the 5th one was like, this Marvel character's favorite word is smash, and Hulk and Dino's like, what is like the thing or something? I'm like, how do you get the one obvious Hulk question wrong?
Yeah, of course that was the skit. We planned the whole show.
Okay, I didn't know that.
All right. So, see, I knew it. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And thanks everybody for joining us in the chat. We'll be back next week on the Toy Duo team.
Cheers.
Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys.